Okay, hey guys, what's going on? This is Xavier Gill from /intros. Oops, sorry, that is embarrassing, but from /studios here to give you a tutorial on a very cool effect that we have been really impressed with, which is called Twitch. Now, most of you do know what Twitch is, but just in case you don't, Twitch is a plugin from Video CoPilot. And it does actually allow you to create some pretty cool effects that have to do with, well, twitching. Go figure. But as you can see here in a second, I'm gonna load up this intro for you that I made for /studios with this effect, along with optical flares and a few other neat tricks that I threw in there myself, actually. So, okay, I'll show you it now. Here you go. Okay, so there you go. Now, I hope that definitely helped to give you a nice idea of what it could possibly turn out to look like. Now, yours can look completely different from what I just showed you because everything in this plugin is customizable. I mean everything. So, for example, keyframes. Set your own keyframes. It is automatically set for you to set your own keyframes for everything, which I love about Video CoPilot plugins. Some plugins do not allow you to do that, so I definitely love that. Okay, so here we go. Here's my, sorry, that was optical flares there. Here's my final comp. It says everything in it. From optical flares to the music, and I'm just going to try to recreate this for you. It may not be the exact same, but you're going to get the general idea. Now, the base footage that I did use for this comp was this right here that I made in Cinema 4D. I love this program. It's right here. It is great for 3D text. You can also keyframe in that, and yeah. Optical flares and Twitch, both of the things that I used in this video for this intro are paid. So you're going to have to go to videocopilot.net and purchase those or find them by some other means. But in the meantime, this is the original footage that I used for my video. It's pretty simple. Have some simple glow effects going on. Got the nice camera rotation that I keyframed in. It's actually pretty beautiful. So now let's get to the real thing. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by dragging my footage into the, whoops, sorry, didn't grab that. Dragging my footage into the new comp. As you can see, it set up those. As you can see, I set up the new comp automatically. The comp settings are here. Might as well show you because you probably are wondering what they are. Here they are. Yep. Actually, let me set this back to 300. That's about 10 seconds at 30 frames per second. So that definitely means that there's enough time to get this whole intro in. Now, what you want to do first, I found out this myself the hard way. Trust me. You want to import your music first. You definitely want to have your music under your footage before you begin this, because it is going to be very hard to change your music to what you want your footage to be. You should always do it the other way around. Now, okay, so let's get started. This is my music here. I can pre-render this for you in a second, but this is I Can't Stop, dubstep by Flux Pavilion. Great song. Kanye West actually stole this, but that's okay. I'm sure he paid for it. So I'll get the RAM preview going so you can preview this music. I can't stop. Okay, that's enough. All right. So, sorry about that. I have a little bit of a cold here, but let's continue. So, that was in there, and you can turn all of the waveforms on for these if you would like. This will definitely help you while you're creating your comp because it will show you where some of the bass drops and other things are. I use that before I pre-compose it, but because I pre-compose it, it's kind of hard to see where everything is. Like, it pretty much looks like a bar. So, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of go by ear on this one. Okay, so what you want to start off by doing is getting to a nice point in your video, like there. Now, to add your effect, you can either go over here to your effects and presets and search Twitch, Video Copilot Twitch, or what I usually do, it's easier to find, Effect, Video Copilot, Twitch. Add that in. Now, as you can see up here, everything is keyframeable, like I said. Now, there are lots of options in here, and I'm going to show you all of them. Or I'm going to explain all of them, but I'm only going to show you a few so that I can keep this video pretty short. Now, what I want to do is I want to add color, light, and slide. Okay, blur basically adds a blur over the top of your image while it's twitching. Pretty much like motion blur, a little bit different, but you get the point. Color is just a color for when you want to overlay the color of your original footage during the twitch. It's a nice effect. Light is when you want to add light to your footage during the effect. And slide is the motion of the original footage during the effect. Now, this may seem a little bit simple, and as you start, nothing's going to happen. But as you turn it up and you select some of these, you can see cool things start to happen. For example, I just did that, and I already ended up with something that looks pretty cool. I'm sure you would agree. So, there you go. That's what it looks like right off the bat. So we're getting somewhere. Now I'm trying to check the time here. Now I want to definitely edit these and make them more refined. So come down here to where it says operator controls. It'll be right here. And as you can see, they're only selected for the ones that you selected up here. So you can only edit the ones that you added to your video. So here I'm going to edit the color first. And the color amount is just the amount of color. The color twitches per second is the amount of times the color will change per second with the twitch. If you turn that up, it will start to flash more. You get the point. So I want to change this to a nice blue, rather light, but not super white. Okay, and turn the amount up maybe, and then play that just so you can see. As you can see, it starts to turn blue when it twitches. Now that comes in handy, trust me, it really does. It adds a lot of effect to your video. Okay, next, let's enter light. Now, light amount and light twitches per second are the exact same as what you saw on the last effect, color, up here. And you can fiddle with these as much as you want, but I'm going to turn the light up because it does add that extra effect again. There you go. And it does add that extra little flash effect, which I like a lot. Okay, and you can also turn it to darker. Whoops, I'm sorry about that. Which will make it darker instead of lighter, as you can see, but I don't really like that. I think it's kind of ugly personally, so I always use brighter. Now, let's go down to slide. Slide is my favorite part of this plugin because it is so awesome, obviously. But the slide automatically is just set to randomly slide. Let's turn the slide off and see what it looks like without the slide. There it just flashes and there's color. The slide is a whole entire point of this plugin. If you don't have slide on, I don't know what you're doing, honestly. But here we go. I'll show you how it works. Slide amount and slide twitches per second again are the same as the top two plugins. They changed the amount and the amount of twitches per second. Now, the slide direction. When you have it set to 0, it kind of moves more up and down, but it also moves left to right, so it's a little bit random. Now, what you want to do for this is move this in any direction you want, and it will change its primary movement to that direction. And I like this because you can set it to wherever you want. Let's say 340, and it'll move more to that direction. But I want it at 90. I want to keep it at 90. It's a nice even number. Right angle, side to side. You get the point. So now, as you can see, it's moving much more left to right than it is up and down. It is still a little bit random, but I like the randomness. Okay, now I want to turn the amount up a little bit because I do want more of that effect. Pause that. Okay, then here we go. RGB split. This is when you split the RGB layers. And as you can see, as you add this up to 100, it splits all the way. And you can see green, blue, red as you see there. Now, set it to 0, it goes back to normal. But I do want to turn this up a little bit. Let's say 30. That's a nice even number. Okay, now, I'll play that for you. As you can see, it starts to split up, but it looks pretty cool, but it could possibly cause seizures, so I would be careful while using this. But it does look awesome. Now, what I want to do is change it a little bit so it looks, okay, so it looks more, I don't know, aligned, let's say. So, spread and tendency can do that. Spread is more of the movement of the, or alignment of the effect over the x-axis. The tendency is more over the y-axis. So, if we go here, let's say, okay, whoops, sorry about that. Change that. It starts to line up more like that. And if you change this, it begins to unalign. So now what I want to do is kind of align it a little bit. So you can still see what it says, just not very clearly. And then the motion blur adds the extra blur or decreases the blur. If you set it to 0, you can definitely get a seizure from this, trust me. It hurts just to watch this preview. So you definitely want to turn that up. I keep it at 100 because it definitely looks better that way. But that's just me. Okay, preview that really quick. Alright, you get the point. Okay, now, like I said, everything is keyframeable. However, it is so much easier just to keyframe the amount rather than to keyframe every single piece of effect in this video. Now, what you want to do here is to line it up with your music. So you want to preview. This could take a second. Sorry about that. Like every intro, you want to preview it. You definitely want to get it lined up before you begin to add keyframes so that you know where you're adding keyframes. Okay, it's almost done. Let's wait a little bit for that. Now, right here is where the drop actually happens. Let me move that a little bit up. So I want to actually add keyframes. So I'm going to add an amount here. I'm going to set it to 150 when it's at its best. But right now, I'm going to put it at 0. And that will keyframe it. Press the keyframe button there. And that should add a keyframe there. Now, you can definitely highlight your video, and then press U to show the keyframes for this comp. Then you can move it over a little bit maybe about here, set another keyframe, or just type in the amount for 150. It'll automatically set a keyframe. Move it over a little bit more. Okay, and then you want to set another keyframe for 0. Actually, maybe you can even keep it running a little bit, so maybe set it at 1, so it does still have some shake, so it doesn't die off. But actually set this to maybe 3, and then move it over a little bit more. Actually, move it to the end of the comp, so it keeps shaking a little bit throughout the comp. You don't want it to ever get stationary, or else it just looks downright ugly. Trust me, it does. I'll shorten this up so the preview won't be as long, and preview this. Now this is going to render the sound. So you get the point. But what you really want to do is you want to drag it out more, because as you saw there, it was kind of short-lived. So spread this out a little bit more. That may be a little bit too much, but we'll find out in a second. Okay, try that again. Sorry about this, but with this, you actually do want to RAM preview this. Get this up here. Just go to Panels, or Window, or View, and then go to Panels, and then just add that in. Now, as you see there, it was pretty harsh looking. So in order to get it to look much more refined, you can once again just fiddle with the keyframes. I'm going to move these over. Okay. And then maybe even when you get to this middle keyframe, turn the amount up more. Let's see what that's going to look like. Okay, now, because the slide isn't that much, kind of want to turn it up for that extra oomph, if you know what I mean. Turn this up as well. There you go, for the extra slide in there. Okay, that should definitely help it out. Okay, now, let's preview this one more time. And that should be about good enough. Okay, so there you go. That's the basic. Obviously, it didn't come out very nice because I'm rushing this so much. Sorry about that. But it definitely is a great way to add effects to your footage. And now in my original, as you can see up here, the bass does drop more than once, and I coordinate the keyframes to that. So here's what it should look like in the end, at least what mine looked like. Okay, epilepsy people beware. Alright, now, comment below for the render settings for this composition. I'll be glad to give them to you, or else I will not put them if you do not want them. And also, you can like and subscribe. That's always good. And I will be editing this channel. This is my first time on YouTube with this channel. I do have another channel, but don't worry about that. So like and subscribe. And once again, this is Xavier Gill from Black/Studios. And we will always keep it 1080p. So, yep. And you can also comment below for a custom intro. We will make them for you. Give us your music. give us what your channel is, and we'll check you out and give you a custom intro. Also, email us at black/studios@yahoo.com. Alright, that's all, guys. Have a great day. And don't forget to like and subscribe.